Hey there! In today's video, we're going to explore a really useful feature for anyone building a project with an ESP32 and ThingsBoard. We'll be looking at shared attributes, a powerful way for your device to receive information directly from ThingsBoard. With shared attributes, your ESP32 can subscribe to updates in real time. So if you are interested, let's jump right in. As you may know, in ThingsBoard we have three types of attributes: client attributes, share attributes, and server attributes. In this video, we are only going to talk about the share attributes, but if you want to see the other types, I will leave a link in the video description. Share attributes allow us to send information from the server to the device. The device cannot create or modify them, it can only read them. Devices usually interact with shared attributes to request their current value, subscribe to updates, and receive updates via downlinks. In the example, we're going to see how to subscribe to the state of an LED using shared attributes and how to change its states directly from the server. Alright guys, so let's see quickly what we have in here. In the first part of our code, we will need to include some libraries as a Wi-Fi library, Arduino MQTT client library, ThingsBoard library that is the version number 14, the attributes request library, and the shared attributes update library. In the second part, we will need some constant for our Wi-Fi configuration. As you can see, we will use the Wi-Fi SSID, the Wi-Fi password, and then we will need to define some constant for our ThingsBoard configuration. As you can see, the token, the ThingsBoard server, and the ThingsBoard port. We will also need to define some pins that we are going to use, that LED pin, that is the number 2. And we will also need to define some constant for our ThingsBoard attributes. In this case, we will use the attributes let state. We will also define the max attributes, that is number 3, and the request timeout microseconds is the number 5. And then we will need to create our ThingsBoard client instance. As you can see here, we will need to pass as a parameter our MQTT client, the buffer size, the stack size, and the APIs that we are going to use. For this case, we are going to use these two modules, that's the attribute request and the share update module. And then we need some constants to define the less state, and also to define the share attributes list that we are going to use. And then we are going to define this function that is called process share attributes, that is going to process share attributes received from ThingsBoard. As you can see here, we receive the JSON object and we are looking for the LED state attributes. And if we found the state attributes, we will execute this function that is the digital write in our LED pin, and we are going to change the LED state. And then also we are going to define the request time out function that is only be printing in our serial port this message. And then we are going to create two callbacks. One callback is for our share attributes and another is for our attributes request callback. Alright guys, so next we are going to define our two typical functions in order to connect to our Wi-Fi, as you can see here. And in our void setup function, we are going to initialize our init Wi-Fi function, and then in our bootloop function, in the first part we are going to check the Wi-Fi connection, and then in the second part we are going to check our ThingsBoard connection, and here we are going to subscribe to share attributes updates using the share update instance with the share attribute subscribe method that we are going to pass as a parameter our attributes callback that is here. And then we are going to also request the current share attributes using the attribute request instance using the share attribute request method, and we will also pass as a parameter our attribute share request callback. And as you might know, we will need also to define the ThingsBoard loop in order to process all the ThingsBoard messages. Alright guys, so let's see how our code is working. First, let me go to the ThingsBoard platform. I'm going to create a new device. Click on add new device here. I will name it ESP32 share attributes. Click on add here, close this windows, and in the section attributes you can see here, if you select share attributes, we don't have anything, so we need to create a new one that is let state attribute. I will select the Boolean type and I will put the true as a default value. So click on add. Right now we had one shared attributes that is here, and then let me return to the details. I will copy the access token and I will update my code. So let me copy and paste here, and let me create our binary file. All right, so once we have our binary file created, we can go to the diagram.jsons and we can start the simulation. So right now, what we is trying to connect to Wi-Fi, and then we have the Wi-Fi connected. Our IP address is this, and then yeah, we subscribe to the shared attributes, and as you can see here, our LED state is in on. And if I return to ThingsBoard and change these attributes, for example, I want to change to false. In my walk with simulation, my LED is changed to false. So as you can see, our code is working well. All right, guys, so another example that I would like to show you is that we can play around with the shared attributes. For example, we can create a dashboard and play with the contour widgets. So first, let me create a dashboard here, and then I will add a new widget, and I will use the contour widget. And let me select the power button here. In the target device, we have to select our ESP32 shared attributes device. And in the initial state, I will execute the action to get attributes, the shared attributes, and the attributes is the let state, and then click on apply. And in the power on behavior, I will execute the action, the set attributes, that is the share, the attribute key is let LED state, and if power on, I will execute the value of true. So let's apply here. We will do the same with the power off, the name of the LED state, and here I will execute the value of false. All right. So as you can see here, we have this widget that is going to control our LED. For example, if I click here, we are changing our shared attributes to true, and this is receiving the value because our ESP32 is subscribing for the LED state attributes. And if I click on here again, I will change the state to off. All right, guys, that's everything for today's video. I tried to make it as quick and simple as possible. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, it will mean a lot if you left a comment or hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.